factories and training grounds for androids in China, an unconventional look at generative AI from Yan LeCun, autonomous weapons and AI tech giants, current trends in robotics, artificial intelligence for robots, and a real humanoid revolution. This and more right here, right now. Let's get it. And the first Android training base has opened up in China. While it's designed for 100 robots by 2027, there are plans to beef those rookie numbers up to 1,000 humanoids. The training center intends to collect an unbelievable amount of high-quality data. The facilities are owned by the national and local co-built Humanoid Robotics Innovation Center organization and will cooperate with Shanghai-based robot manufacturers such as Zhuan Robotics, Kupas Technology Co., and others. To put this into perspective, the humanoid market in China, which was valued at more than $380 million in 2024, is projected to grow to nearly $12 billion by 2030. Not only private companies support robotics in China, it's not surprising that the first government-owned robot factory appeared in Shanghai with an area of about half an acre or 2,000 square meters and production capacity of at least 1,000 robots per year. Today, the factory produces androids with 40 degrees of freedom, capable of lifting loads weighing up to 66 pounds or 30 kilos. The robots are also trained directly at the production site in specialized areas like a kitchen or a supermarket. China is also planning to organize the world's largest robot humanoid race. More than 20 companies from the country plan to put their contenders on the track to compete not only among themselves, but also with human runners. In total, more than 12,000 participants are expected, and the event will take place in April this year. As always, we'll have our eyes on the prize, so subscribe now to get the latest scoop you know is coming. And finally, the godfather of modern artificial intelligence and leading AI specialist at Meta, spoke at the Debating Technology Conference in Davos, where he made a number of unexpected predictions. He predicted that in 3 to 5 years, no one will try to use generative AI for robotics tasks. Yan LeCun is sure that during this time, a new AI architecture will emerge that will be devoid of the limitations of modern systems. These limitations, according to LeCun, inhibit intelligent behavior of machines. The 4 main ones are lack of understanding of the physical world, lack of robust memory, lack of judgment, and lack of complex planning abilities. Quote, "They don't know how to do any of that, really, so there will be another AI revolution in the coming years. We'll probably have to come up with another name for it because AI will no longer be generative in the modern sense." End quote. Well, the centerpiece of new wave AI will be robotics, while Yan LeCun believes in the emergence of intelligent robots, he called the possibility of super intelligent AI appearing in the near future, quote, "complete nonsense." It seems the era of autonomous warfare is just around the corner. OpenAI, Meta, and Anthropic have joined the list of overhyped AI companies that once claimed to reject military applications of their designs, and who are now contracting with the US Department of Defense and private military companies. OpenAI has announced a partnership with Anduril Industries, a defense technology company that specializes in autonomous munitions and various drones. And while OpenAI assures that its technology will be used for defensive purposes, Anduril actually has an impressive portfolio of offensive vehicles and autonomous munitions capable of raining fire with the flick of a joystick or a push of a button. If that doesn't ring a bell, spoiler, Skynet was also an air defense system. So why are AI companies going to the military? Well, it's simple. Sam Altman's projected revenues in 2024 will amount to $3.7 billion, and the cost of development and maintenance of computing power, $5 billion. Apparently, despite the boatload of investments, it's a struggle for key AI companies to make it without additional sources of income and contracts with the military. Seem tempting. Apparently, despite the boatload of investments, it's a struggle for key AI companies to make it without additional sources of income and contracts with the military seem tempting. And here, OpenAI is not alone. Meta, for example, has AI partnerships with Lockheed Martin and other sharks. Anthropic recently announced a partnership with Palantir Technologies, which has close ties to defense, intelligence, and law enforcement agencies. Meanwhile, Microsoft, Google, Oracle, and Amazon are also partnering with the Department of Defense. For example, Project Joint Warfighting Cloud Capability, where $9 billion is going to be passed around the four companies this year alone. Basically, the Pentagon wants a cloud-based enterprise that covers all military missions, from high-level decision-making to tactical operations to classified top secret, fusing AI and machine learning with all DoD systems. But companies here aren't just providing cloud services. Google's AI, for example, can speed up decision-making 30 times. Amazon advertises advanced data analytics. Microsoft provides nearly 170,000 miles or 270,000 kilometers of submarine and fiber optic cables. And Oracle offers predictive analytics, monitoring, and automation. AI is great at making quick decisions, but it's not immune to error. Misclassification or data bias can lead to disastrous decisions. Yet, that doesn't stop anyone anymore. AI is not the only reason Sam Altman's company is the talk of Silicon Valley. Here's another one. Life extension. It's no secret that most tech leaders are extremely concerned about living as long as possible. And what do you think about this coincidence? GPT-4b Micro will focus on life extension technologies, bullying the biotech market. Specifically, GPT-4b Micro is trained to offer ways that modify protein factors, increasing their functionality that in turn give AI the power to turn ordinary human cells into stem cells. To develop the model, OpenAI partnered with Retro Biosciences, a company in which Altman personally invested $180 million last year. And the first crop is already in. For example, as a result of applying the model, the efficiency of modified proteins increased more than 50 times. Turns out, this AI can open new perspectives in regenerative medicine and longevity research. In particular, modifying proteins could help both in general body rejuvenation and in creating human organs or even providing a supply of replacement cells. However, this reprogramming is not particularly efficient. It takes several weeks, and thus far less than 1% of all lab-treated cells complete the rejuvenation process. AI should remedy this situation. Ideally, with its help, researchers aim to increase our average life expectancy by a decade. How's that for a start, folks? OpenAI is on fire this week, entering the race of humanoid robots. Since Sam Altman is convinced that we're entering the era of advanced AI for robotics, he decided not to miss out on a potential payday. The company now has openings such as electrical and design engineer and technical project manager, all in the field of robotics, but not necessarily humanoid. As the company stated, quote, "Working across the entire model stack, we integrate advanced hardware and software to explore multiple robotic form factors. Our goal is to seamlessly integrate the capabilities of high-level artificial intelligence with the physical constraints of the real world." End quote. Robotics is an in-demand and promising field. According to Crunchbase, the sector attracted more than $6.4 billion in investment from venture capitalists last year alone. But robots aren't the only thing OpenAI is working on in terms of hardware. Last year, former Apple designer Johnny Ive confirmed that he's collaborating with OpenAI on a new device. The startup is also said to be developing its own chip to run AI models. Now, if we take a step back, recently robots, both humanoid and quadrupedal, have become much faster and agile. G1 Bionic from Unitree, for example, can already run steep slopes and uneven surfaces, demonstrating impressive speeds and smooth movements. Developers claim that this robot has the smoothest and most human-like walk today. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And here's another video from Unitree. Although the robot is captivating, cheerfully dancing in its simulation, it wouldn't be a surprise to see it physically performed in the near future. More on speed, the Black Panther V2 robot dog can now go up to 23 miles or 37 kilometers per hour and run 100 meters in less than 10 seconds, just like Usain Bolt. To achieve this speed, engineers from Jaeon University and startup MirrorMe improved the robot's shock absorption systems and redesigned the robot's legs. Would you trust this Black Panther with your Uber Eats? And since we're talking about robot dogs, here's Unitree's B2W, which was put into mass production for different industries about a year ago. Now, the robot has been upgraded and has become more dynamic. Check out these tricks. And what does the future hold for the movie industry? Perhaps the movie set is just going to be a monitor. To illustrate this theory, Laszlo Gal worked 2 weeks using Google DeepMind's VO2 text-to-video system and created the video you are watching right now. That's right, everything here, from picture to music, was created by artificial intelligence. The only real thing was Gal's own head talking about the project. Generative AI is developing literally every day. Soon it will be advanced models writing scripts, filming, editing, scoring, and creating both commercials and feature films. Who wants to throw their hat in the ring? What's a major studio that goes bust first? Let us know. But according to Laszlo Gal, today the most difficult thing in video generation is to keep the characters the same. That's a big one. But once that issue is resolved, the AI-generated footage would look better than the original. Agree or disagree? On top of artistic works, with such advanced technologies, it would be easy to create fakes of any sort on any topic. Can't trust your eyes no more, guys. Deepfakes, for example, as we know them, first appeared almost a decade ago. Since then, the world of AI, especially for robots, has, some might say, exploded. With the new Multiverse from Nvidia and Google, the lack of data to train autonomous machines is no longer a problem, since the latest ones can create a 3D model of a real-world situation and then based on that, develop 1,000 variations to train a robot to operate under different conditions. Imagine you have camera data from a car driving down the street on a sunny day. With simulations, that data can be transformed to get many different ones, the same day but with different times of day, weather, road conditions. And here's another one. A robot drops something and an algorithm simulates thousands of falling and bouncing probabilities in different directions to teach the robot how to pick up the object. This is the new reality. The ChatGPT moment for robotics is coming, said Jensen Huang, founder and CEO of Nvidia, announcing the launch of Cosmos World Simulation Model. We created Cosmos to democratize physical AI and make general robotics accessible to every developer. And that's a direct quote. What does that mean? Robot learning can not only accelerate but also become better at the expense of big data that roboticists have been sorely lacking. Are robots really about to enter the real world and become useful? If algorithms live up to the expectations, then yes, and we will soon see it. After all, it's already being adopted by humanoid developers like 1X, Figure AI, Fourier, and Agility, not to mention autonomous car manufacturers like Xpeng, Uber, Huawei, and Wave. Do you believe in a humanoid revolution? Robots in the workplace and or among us? Anybody? Yay or nay? Let us know in the comments. As if trying to confirm, more and more companies are presenting their own humanoids. Like this Chinese startup, Pudu Robotics. They recently showed off their D9 for warehousing and industry tasks. The robot stands at 5'7" or 170 centimeters and carries up to 44 pounds or 20 kilos. The D9 has 42 degrees of freedom, dexterous hands for handling small objects, and a speed of 4 miles or 7 kilometers per hour. It's capable of traversing stairs and slopes as well as using sensors to 3D map its surroundings and autonomous route guidance. Developers also claim to have installed AI on board, which helps the robot interact with people. D9 is expected to hit the shelves soon with a price tag of 20 to 30 big ones. And LimX Dynamics also showcased what they're working on this week. This prototype looks a tad undercooked, but clearly work is in full swing. It seems that in China, hundreds of companies are now trying to create their own humanoids with the intention to compete for their piece of the pie in the future. It seems that in China, hundreds of companies are now trying to create their own humanoids with the intention to vie for the piece of the future. New ones are literally popping up every week. Engine AI, for example, meet the CO1 and PM1. CO1, with a strikingly natural gait, was recently captured on video while walking down a street in Shenzhen. Incidentally, many users online mistook the video for a rendering. Equipped with a powerful Nvidia Jetson Orin Nano computer and a 10,000 mAh battery, CO1 performs simple movements but also complex tasks such as squats, push-ups, and lifting weights in general. The robot is ideal for tasks that require precision and strength, such as assembly in a factory. The open-source PM1 provides a lightweight and dynamic platform for developers worldwide. The robot features an interactive display and secondary development capabilities. The cost of the models has not been disclosed, but rumor has it that the flagship CO will cost between $20,000 and $30,000, making it a direct competitor to Unitree's G1. Here's some more predictions. The International Federation of Robotics has predicted 5 key trends for 2025 that are said to revolutionize our lives. The first one being AI for smart robots. Thanks to recent developments, generative AI can mimic real-world environments to train them, make them evolve very quickly. It's like ChatGPT, but in the physical. The second trend is creating humanoids for specific tasks. It's expected that humanoid robots for car factories or logistics will soon generate insane demand, creating more market value for the tech. The third trend is called environmental sustainability. We're talking smart and useful robots that are supposed to reduce waste and increase productivity, or robots that produce green technologies such as solar panels and batteries for electric cars. The fourth trend is new business models. With the growing popularity of robotics as a service, small and medium-sized enterprises can utilize robots minus the major investments, which will open up new opportunities in industries such as construction, science, and logistics. And finally, the fifth trend, addressing labor shortages. Guess who it's about? That's right, robots that will perform dangerous or boring tasks. That is, those jobs that people don't want to do for current pay, since robots won't ever ask for a raise. And that's the forecast. Do you guys agree? Let us know in the comments. Meanwhile, the number of fully functional humanoid robots is probably in the dozens now. It's even strange that the CES 2025 exhibition hosted so little. Mostly digit robots from Agility Robotics, Apollos from Apptronic, which was spotted at the Texas Instruments Studio booth recently, and Ricci, teleoperated platform from Poland Robotics. There were plenty of other useful and strange robots there though. Check out the link with the full video on this year's CES in cards. Now, when you hear the phrase robot police officer, you probably picture an robocop. But check this out. Chinese police tested a robot ball that can chase criminals on land and water. The nearly 300-pound or 125-kilo Rotenbot RTG amphibious robot can accelerate up to 20 miles or 35 kilometers per hour and actively use non-lethal weapons to fight offenders. This self-balancing robot is equipped with cameras, ultrasonic sensors, and a GPS system, allowing it to move around safely, avoiding collisions and tracking targets. It's not afraid of falling and can easily handle off-road terrain, mud, and even water. It can also be equipped with tear gas canisters, smoke bombs, horns, and other nifty gadgets. However, despite its mobility, it's still not perfect. The video shows how the robot loses its balance when turning and is unable to follow a human on a staircase, for example. So, not yet perfect, but you can kind of get a sense of where this is going. But get this, the largest artificial intelligence project in history, Stargate, was announced this week. Worth $500 billion, it's founded by 3 giants, SoftBank, Oracle, and OpenAI. The goal? Build physical and virtual infrastructure to support next-generation AI, including data centers across the United States. Stargate's technical partners will be Microsoft, ARM, and Nvidia. Word on the street is Stargate will strengthen U.S. leadership in AI, creating hundreds of thousands of jobs and enhancing national security. And here's a surprising piece of news. It looks like we don't have to fear losing our jobs to AI. At least that's what the report by the World Economic Forum says. Based on a survey of 1,000 companies, the forum's experts concluded that AI will create 78 million jobs by 2030, despite the fact that some professions will disappear. More specifically, AI will provide 170 million jobs, but at the same time take away 92 million. At risk are the usual suspects like accountants and secretaries, but also creative positions such as graphic designers and legal advisors, since generative AI is doing better and better at these particular tasks. However, if you start retraining now and master your opportunities that this technology offers, you can be pretty certain about your future. UBTech, another Chinese company, has announced a long-term partnership with Foxconn, a production giant that works with Apple. As part of the agreement, Walker S1 robots will assist in factories in a variety of fields, from manufacturing to electronics. The Walker S1 humanoid robot, which stands 5'8" or 1.72 meters tall and weighs 160 pounds or 76 kilos, was unveiled in October just last year. According to the developers, it can work several jobs in production, from quality control to carrying parcels and tightening screws. The robots have already been training at Foxtron warehouses, a subsidiary of Foxconn in Shenzhen. Soon, they'll be sent to an electric car manufacturing plant in Zhengzhou. And on it goes. Incidentally, UBTech has already signed agreements to test its robots with major players such as electric car maker BYD, Dongfeng Motor, FAW Volkswagen, Geely, and a shipping company, SF Express. The makers claim they've already worked out a set of about 1,000 operations in automotive production for the S1. The company also added that it aims to become the world's first robot manufacturer to achieve commercial mass production of humanoids. And Osaka University has developed technology that will allow robots to overcome the uncanny valley effect. It occurs when a robot that looks very much like a human moves or expresses emotions in a strange way. Previously, to avoid it, all expressions of emotion were programmed in advance. Now, the robot was even instructed how to move from one emotion to another, but it didn't always look the way it was supposed to. And now, Professor Hiroshi Ishiguro, famous for creating his doppelganger robot and several other projects, is presenting a new principle for robots to mimic emotions. With this technology, an android can show its moods by synthesizing facial movements such as blinking, breathing, or yawning as waves that overlap, creating smooth and natural changes in facial expressions. Do you think the professor got it right? How do you feel looking at this robot? And China is constantly breathing down our neck. AI is not an exception. DeepSeek Artificial Intelligence Lab has unveiled the open-source DeepSeek R1 model, claiming that they have beaten. DeepSeek Artificial Intelligence Lab has unveiled the open-source DeepSeek R1 model, claiming that they have beaten the thinking OpenAI O1 in key tests. The new model contains 671 billion parameters and performs better than the O1 in the AMI, Math 500, and SWE benchmarks. These benchmarks are designed to evaluate various aspects of the model, including math ability, programming skills, and overall performance. R1 is also capable of reasoning, which allows it to validate itself and avoid many of the current AGI mistakes. Admittedly, R1 has limitations. Since China regulates and validates all AI models, none of them will answer questions about Taiwan's status or criticize the country's authorities. As of this episode, there are already at least 3 Chinese labs, DeepSeek, Alibaba, and Kimi, that have created models that are as good as the O1. Moving on, Shandong University has unveiled the Kuli robot. And it's not a UAV with 2 legs, as you might think. It's a bipedal robot that is assisted by a drone. It's actually quite interesting to look at. For example, look how elegantly it jumps on an obstacle. On the other hand, how useful is this? And where would this be used? On the other hand, how useful is this? And where would this be used? Let us know in the comments. And Huawei showed how its Maestro S800 sedan autonomously parks itself next to a robotic charging station and connects to it with a robotic arm. The robot monitors possible obstacles, connects the charger, disconnects the cable after charging, and automatically debits the charge. The station has a capacity of 600 kilowatt with 100 kilowatt charging in 10 minutes. The company said that the robot station will enter mass production in the second quarter of this year. What news this week shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel, like our videos, and check out our Instagram for more from the world of high tech.